In this lesson, we're going to look at how you can represent data visually from a spreadsheet. So, looking at the work you've already produced, you should already have a spreadsheet that records how much technology, how much screen time you've used during the week, with a recommended 4 hours per day, and then some advice that explains if you're seeing too much of a screen or not. So you should already have this. If you haven't already got this, you need to do the other lessons and get to this stage first. So we're now going to try and visually represent some of our information, and the way we do that is through graphs. Now in computing we tend to call these charts, so I'll be referring to them generally as a chart, but I might use the word graph as well. And we're going to create some charts that show the information from our spreadsheet. Now if you are doing this in Excel, Microsoft Excel, it's a slightly different process than Google Sheets. So if you're doing it in Excel, you've got a PowerPoint you can watch, and in that PowerPoint there is a video with this chap here explaining how to do the information in Excel. If you do it in Google Sheets, I will show you exactly how to insert a chart. So what we need to look at first of all is a Google chart. Look at the work we had last week, and I just want to create a chart for my screen time during the course of the week. So I'm going to select all of these cells. So I've selected the days of the week, the different types of technology, and I've just selected every cell in that block there, and I can just click on insert and then chart. And what it'll do is it'll try and choose a chart. I don't want this type of chart, so I can just click on the drop down box and I'm going to choose a column chart. Now I've just scrolled down a little bit here. You've got different types of chart. We can look at some of these later, but in computing we tend to call a column chart where it goes up and down. So these are like columns of a building holding up a roof, columns, as opposed to a bar chart where the rows go horizontally. So I'm actually going to choose a column chart. And here's my information that I've got. So I can see on a Monday that I've spent an hour on social media and an hour on mobile games. And you can change this information by customizing your graph. And I can just go to chart title and axes, and here is my title. So I'm just going to change this title to something that makes a little bit more sense. So time spent using technology. Should really have capitals in here. So I've got time spent using technology, and I can just click out of that box and my title is there. I can customize this a little bit, again by clicking back in here in the three dots. I can just go back and edit my chart, and I can look at individual parts of it. So I can just go through all the different options here and add more information in. Have a look, experiment with some of these. I might want some extra grid lines in and ticks, that's your choice. Vertical axis, I might want to show the axis line. You can go through all the individual little bits and just see what they do and see if they're useful for your graph. So that's how we've created a graph in Google Sheets. I'm just going to move that out the way a little bit so I can still see the data from my table. So the next stage that we're going to look at really is so I'm just going back. This is what it will look like in Microsoft Excel. You'll see the similar sort of graph. The next stage is just a little bit of customizing it. So again, I've changed in Excel the background color, and that's format, chart area, fill in Excel, but in Google Sheets it's a little bit different. We just again click on the customize, edit the chart and customize, and we can look at our chart style, and we've got our background color that we can select in here. We don't want anything too bright. I'm just going to go for a pastel color there, just so we can see the information. And again, you can change the individual colors of each of the different types of technology that we've used. So that's how you do it in Google Sheets, and the PowerPoint will explain how to do that in Excel. So obviously if you're in Excel, you need to save your work as you progress. If you're in Google Sheets, it will do it automatically for you. The next stage is selecting specific data. Now this is really easy to do in Excel, and again the video in Excel with this chap here will show you how to do that. But if you are in Google Sheets, it's a little bit more difficult. So what I tend to have to do is I want to create a graph of the days of the week, and I'm going to look at the percentage of the day used. So I'm just going to copy this information. So copy, I'm just going to paste this here, and same for my percentage of the day. So again, I'm going to copy that, paste this in here. Now when I paste it, I have to go to paste special, and I'm going to paste the values only. It's formatted the data slightly wrong, so I'm just going to select that and choose back to percentage up here, so my data is now correct. I can now select this information here, insert chart, and this time I'm going to select a different type of chart. I'm going to choose a pie chart. So here's my pie chart, and again I can edit my chart, put a title in, and just make this a lot clearer. Now I can see here that Sunday's been my really bad day. In fact, the whole weekend, Saturday and Sunday, is really bad for screen time, and therefore I can be aware of that and hopefully do something about that the following week. Again, if I deleted this data here from my pie chart, press delete, my pie chart disappears. So I'm just pressing Ctrl Z and go back. What I'd have to do is just move this out of the way a little bit. In fact, I can scroll down and move it underneath my pie chart. Scroll back up. So we just want to move that data rather than deleting it. So thinking about our PowerPoint again, we've been selecting data, choosing specific bits of data to represent, and I'd like you to develop your spreadsheet by creating a few charts that you can add into your spreadsheet, representing different elements of your screen time. So hopefully you've now got an understanding of how to create visual representation of the data in your spreadsheet by using charts. I'd like you to add a few of those into your work and then show that in your ePortfolio and explain the work in your ePortfolio.